change in the number of women working in the film and television industry behind the camera. And what the statistics tell us is that has not happened. That, Stacy Smith, Dr. Stacy Smith, Dr. Martha Lozanne, Irina Fraticelli, they've all done these massive studies studies about the industry. And what they're telling us is that the numbers are really depressingly low. It's even more depressingly low if you're a woman of color.
Can we compare the problems in the Canadian film industry to those in Hollywood? And why did it take the allegations against Harvey Weinstein or the election of Donald Trump for the women of Canada to think it's a battle worth fighting?
It's tipped things into a whole different direction. And I think it's just the people that came forward initially were very high profile. They were very high profile women. They were seemed to be glamorous celebrities, and when they came out with their stories, I think everyone just went, well, if they're experiencing problems at their level, wow, like, I think it really just shone a huge light on the whole sort of the shadows that everyone didn't want to talk about, the shadows that everyone just, let's just keep that in the shadows.
In Canada, we had the Jian Ghomeshi trial, and that promised to give a voice to women, but when he was found not guilty, that ended up silencing a lot of women. So do you think that the Me Too campaign is making a difference?
I do think it's making a difference. I think the fallout you're seeing from Me Too is very different from the Jian Ghomeshi trial. That I think also because the Me Too campaign is very much an American campaign, and the American media is the most powerful media in the world. And I think a lot of people in positions of power in the media were brought down, and the world was watching. I think in Canada, we're a small country, and I don't think the world was watching when Jian Ghomeshi was held up or put on trial for his conduct and his crimes. So, I do think it has a lot to do with the fact that it came out of Hollywood. It came out of a country that the world is always watching all the time.
Kathleen, thank you so much for your time that you've shared with us today. We're really appreciative and have enjoyed hearing your perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we'll take a look at another filmmaker. Angie Liu speaks with Celestina Aliobua, who just premiered her first short film in Toronto.
A full theater and plenty of refreshments are all signs that point to a successful short film premiere. Celestina Aliobua is screening her first ever short film, The People of Sand, at District 28 in Toronto. The People of Sand is being shown alongside 3 other short films from local and international filmmakers. The People of Sand was filmed by Aliobua and her brother on a trip to Cape Town, South Africa. The concept of the film was developed while the young filmmaker attended George Brown College.
The people of Sand live in the no man's land between 2 countries in southern Africa. And I've always wondered how African countries would have ended up had they not been colonized. So that's where I started. The beginning of the film shows my actual mood board that I created.
The film explores the fears of entering an unknown world that has only been experienced through the cast-offs from the material world. The film was created without a crew or a budget. Instead, she sought help from her family during the filming process.
I really grew to really trust my own creativity. I learned to really appreciate my family. They did so much, and we were actually in Cape Town to visit my brother, but the whole trip was my video, and there was no hesitation to help me.
After creating her first film, Aliobua hopes to move on to more ambitious projects, like writing her own web series.
I always want to make my next project bigger than what I've done previously. So hopefully by then I'll have a budget and then I can actually do something, you know, how I really want to do it.
For your Sheridan, this is Angie Liu.
Each week, we ask our Sheridan community the question of the day. Today's question is, who is a woman who has inspired you and why? You can tweet or direct message us your answer on Twitter or Instagram using @YourSheridanTV. Now, Dragon, who's a woman who has inspired you?
Well, Eliza, I was very inspired by Marina Abramovic. She is a performance artist from Serbia, where I'm from. And she has done a lot of many legendary works over the course of her career. She's very prolific. If you go on Netflix, there's a documentary about her where she did a show at the Museum of Modern Art, and it was very moving and inspiring, and I think that she's wonderful. So how about you, Eliza?
Wow, that's awesome. For me, I am really inspired by my mom and my sister. It's a little bit cheesy, but my mom is a breast cancer survivor, so
Wow,
she inspires
that's amazing.
me every day. And then my sister, I love seeing how she's become a mom with my nephew. She's such a good mom, so I love them. It's really cool.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I love my mom too. Shouts out to my mom. So make sure to let us know on Twitter @YourSheridanTV which women in your life inspire you.
We'll be back with news and entertainment, as well as a live hit with our reporter Liam Rowe right after this.
Don't go anywhere.
Sorry. Welcome back to Your Sheridan. Let's check in with our reporter, Liam Rowe, who is live at the photography program exhibition at Trafalgar.
Thanks, Eliza. I'm here with Raphael Goldchain, a professor in the photography program here at Sheridan, and one of many who's helped put together this photography exhibition here at Sheridan. So, Raphael, what's the process behind putting this all together, and how long has Sheridan been doing this for?
Oh gosh, I think we've been doing it for as long as the program's been here, maybe 40 years, 30-something years. And the process takes a few weeks, starting with the students making the images that they think will go into the exhibition. Then there's a period in which they print. All of it comes to a head in February when the students are feverishly printing in our labs. Then there's a selection process, and then it goes up on the wall.
And just kind of how important do you think it is to highlight these students and recognize them for the work they put forth for the public?
I think this is hugely important, especially for students in years 1, 2, and 3 who don't have another exhibition. The fourth-year students have a grad show in Toronto. So for these students, this is extremely exciting. It's an opportunity to get their work on the wall perhaps for the first time. They're exposed to a professional selection process. They have to make absolutely wonderful prints. If not, they don't get selected. So it's an opportunity for great fulfillment and great stress.
And so the award night was last night. How many people were out, and what was the atmosphere like there?
This place was teeming with students and their parents and their friends and significant others. The gallery was full and it was overflowing out into the hallway. We had some coffee and cookies for people. There were awards given. It was a celebration.
Thank you so much for joining us, Raphael. We appreciate your time. For those of you who are interested in coming down, checking out the photography exhibition, it's in room AA23 in Sheridan College, and it's open till March 11th. Come on down and check it out. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Liam.
Thank you, Liam. Now for your top news stories. Let's head over to Talene Loschiavo.
Thanks, Dragon. Hamilton's social anarchist center, The Tower, has been vandalized. Police are investigating after a large window facing Cannon Street was smashed and shelves knocked down early this morning. This comes days after a masked group calling itself the Ungovernables caused $100,000 worth of damage during a vandalism spree along Locke Street. Hamilton police believe the weekend violence is linked to an anarchist book fair over the weekend. No one has been charged for either crimes. An internal Toronto police investigation has been launched after serious concerns were raised by the lead detective in the Bruce McArthur serial murder case. According to media reports, during the current investigation, it was uncovered that Toronto police interviewed alleged serial killer Bruce McArthur years after his arrest in January. The Toronto Star and Globe and Mail are reporting the interviews happened between 2013 and 2014. There is word on exactly why McArthur was brought in to be interviewed. McArthur is currently facing 6 charges of first-degree murder. A 20-year-old man is suing Dick's Sporting Goods in Oregon after their new gun policy. Tyler Watson is suing the company for age discrimination after he attempted to purchase a rifle and was refused. Watson is also suing Walmart for the same issue. The legal age to purchase firearms in Oregon is 18. However, both companies raised their age limit to 21 in the wake of the Florida shooting on February 14th. A recent poll shows that a majority of Canadians cannot name achievements of famous Canadian women. The survey was conducted by Ipsos on behalf of Historica Canada. The survey's list of notable women featured the likes of painter Emily Carr and Anne of Green Gables author Lucy Maud Montgomery. Knowledge levels were even worse when survey participants were asked about the accomplishments of some notable Indigenous women. A new Halton Catholic District School Board policy outlining school charitable donations is sparking concern and anger among students. The board says only charities that fall in line with the Catholic Church's teachings are approved, but students say that it is too restrictive. Liam Rowe talks with students who have rallied together to challenge the board's notion, launching a petition that already has more than 18,000 signatures. And now over to Nick with your news in sports.
Our main goal is right now is to try and get the board to reconsider and, if anything, to just amend the word indirect in their motion, because the word indirect kind of acts as an umbrella for so many organizations who want to do so much good as just every organization. So we want to limit as few organizations as possible to be affected by this.
Members from the Halton Catholic District School Board gathered for a meeting on Tuesday night to discuss the ban that was put in place on February 20th. The policy states that schools can no longer donate money to organizations that aren't in line with the church's teachings. Some of the charities that are affected by the ban include Sick Kids, Canadian Cancer Society, Heart and Stroke Foundation, the United Way, and many others. We reached out to the United Way of Halton for a reaction, but they declined to comment.
It does affect people in Oakville who go to these schools, who have brothers or sisters, who either go to these hospitals like Sick Kids or donate to these charities on a regular basis. So it's kind of like a anger at first and then kind of like a sadness right after. So
the Catholic Board motion means schools cannot send donations to charities that work in areas that go against the Catholic beliefs, such as abortion, contraception, sterilization, euthanization, and embryonic stem cell research.
I didn't like the language of the motion. I felt it was too broad. When you use the word direct or indirect contact with restricted activities, there's a whole range of charities that are on the outside and are deemed unacceptable. So the word indirect, right, was a big problem. I think the second problem was some of the charities our schools have given to are among the biggest in Canada, the biggest in the world, and a fraction of their activities fall within the restricted parameters of the motion, right? So 99% of the good work they do gets dismissed, and the motion focuses on the 1%, the tiny fraction that falls within the restriction, and thus the charity is deemed unacceptable.
Some trustees felt that this particular motion would confirm our Catholicity a little bit more because of the issues that are out in society that cause concern for Catholics. And there are others that said these are wonderful charities and we should be supporting them all. So that's where we got a split board, so as to speak. And there were several motions on this. It came back a couple of times. And the final motion did happen just a few weeks ago. It was a 5-3 split.
We co-chair a student senate committee, which is a group of student leaders that we that help us get input from all of the schools that we represent. And at this meeting, something that we presented during the vote was that the vote was unanimous when we brought this to the attention of our student senate. All unanimously agreed that this motion shouldn't be passed at our board.
In favor. No opposed. Trustee Intomasi. Opposed.
I'd prefer to see them withdraw it completely. However, I think the compromise might be found in allowing schools to decide where to direct their charitable dollars, and then have the specific charity identify that none of the money generated goes toward those restricted activities.
The board will meet again on March 20th to go over delegations with students about the policy and the next steps for this motion put in place. For your Sheridan, I'm Liam Rowe.
And now over to Nick with your news and sports.
Thanks, Helene. The Toronto Maple Leafs are on a 4-game losing streak in a crucial part of the season that will determine home ice for the playoffs. The team is third in the Eastern Conference and almost guaranteed a playoff spot in April. They'll look to bounce back this Saturday in Toronto against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Toronto Raptors won their 5th game in a row last night, beating the Atlanta Hawks 106-90. DeMar DeRozan led the team with 25 points on the night to seal the win. They're in Detroit tonight taking on the Pistons. The Raps have signed Nigel Hayes to a 10-day contract. Hayes is averaging 16.1 points a game this season with the NBA G League's Westchester Knicks. After going public with his ongoing battle with depression, DeMar DeRozan is feeling amazing support from fans and other players. In a statement released yesterday, he says he was glad to be the sacrificial lamb for everyone to feel like they can speak about their anxiety or depression. That's it for sports. Back to you, Eliza.
Thanks, Nick and Talene. We're going to take a short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have the latest in entertainment news.
Nice one, Nick.
That was good, yeah.
That was good, man.
You're good at that.
Right on, bud. Welcome back to Your Sheridan. Now over to Tyler with our scoop on entertainment.
Thanks, Dragon. Netflix has released the full trailer for its second season of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. The streaming service's original series returns this month. Based on the popular novels by Lemony Snicket, Season 2 follows the events of books 5 through 9. Netflix released a trailer featuring clips from each of the upcoming 10 episodes. The full season will be available on Netflix Friday, March 30th. Spoiler alert, ABC's The Bachelor shocked viewers with a surprise twist ending on last night's season finale. After Bachelor Ari Lyondike gave the final rose to Becca Kufrin, the episode aired a scene of Lyondike changing his mind, breaking up with Kufrin, and later proposing to runner-up Lauren Burnham. The episode has drawn controversy over Lyondike's decision and ABC airing his private conversation with Kufrin. Finally, Warner Brothers has announced they are changing the release date for their new action blockbuster, Rampage. The switch comes just days after Disney moved up the release of Avengers: Infinity War to April 27th in a surprise announcement last week. Warner Brothers has also responded by moving up Rampage's release 1 week earlier. Box office analysts speculate this is to avoid competition at the box office in the lucrative early summer. Rampage now opens on Friday, April 13th. Well, Dragon, Eliza, suddenly April's looking like a crowded month at the multiplex. Back to you guys.
Now it's time for hashtag What's Trending, where we look at trending topics of the day. Today is National Cereal Day. What's your favorite cereal?
I don't actually have a favorite cereal. I don't really like it.
That's good.
Is that bad? Do I need to choose one? Okay, if I have to choose one, I'll choose the oatmeal crisp. Is that a cereal?
I have never heard of it. I don't think so.
I might be making that up.
I love Frosted Flakes because they're great.
Okay. Another trending topic today is hashtag Press for Progress. Now, hashtag Press for Progress is the theme for International Women's Day this year, and it's on the International Women's Day website. And Press for Progress is a strong call to action to press forward and progress gender equality.
Nice. That's something I can get behind. I think we should all get behind something as good as that. It's a great cause.
There's a couple of different things that they want you to do in this call to action. They want to challenge stereotypes and biases. They want to maintain a gender equality mindset, forge positive visibility of women, and influence others' beliefs and actions. And of course, as we all want to, celebrate women's achievements.
Yes, I love it. I'm for it. Let's do it.
And every week we have hashtag millennial problems, and here's what we've got today.
Yes. Sam Scott says, when you fall in love with The Bachelor from your living room, but you'll never get the final rose.
Talene Laschiavo says, when you're going through old photo albums and try to use your fingers to zoom in on the physical photo.
Alyssa Lashbrook says, when you want a Starbucks caramel macchiato, but your school closed the booth, and now you need to find a new way to caffeinate. It's tough. If you want to be featured in our hashtag Millennial Problems segment next week, remember to tweet us at Your Sheridan TV using the hashtag.
That's right. And after this break, we'll return to our question of the day, along with the 5-day weather forecast. Stay tuned.
You're tuned into Your Sheridan. This week we asked Sheridan students to name a woman that inspires them and why. Here were some of those answers. So name a woman in your life that inspires you and how they inspire you.
So my mom.
My mom would inspire me.
So my mom inspires me a lot.
My mom?
My mom.
Yeah, I would say probably my mom.
She provides for me. She does everything for me. Everything she does, she keeps me in her mind.
Is my mother. I lost my father when I was 15, and she somehow took care of my brother, me, taxes, and everything like that, as well as starting up her own company. And she now renovates 100% of the time with her own company and does like huge scale renovations and is booked months in advance. So she's definitely very inspiring.
My friends, because they're rad.
My girlfriend inspires me because she's always like pushing me to be a better person and to like live my truest self. So yeah, she's very important.
My grandma inspires me. She is a strong woman. She had breast cancer and she beat it. She's up cooking still for us on Sundays. And she's a strong woman. I believe that cancer, though, once it goes away, it comes back. And I just hope that it stays away for good.
Wow. Now, Dragon, I've got to ask, who's got the weather?
Hi there, my name is Ben Skipper and I've got the weather. We are starting to see more warm weather, but it is still a good idea to hold on to your winter boots and coat. Right now it is 3 degrees, but it feels more like -2. Thursday will be 1 degree with mostly clouds and sun breaks. On Friday you may want to grab your umbrellas due to wet snow showers at 3 degrees. Continuing through the weekend, Saturday will be 3 degrees and Sunday will be 4 degrees both days with a mix of sun and clouds. Finally, looking a little into next week, the temperature will stay above 2 degrees with a mix of snow and clouds. Stay safe on the roads as we can get up to 15 centimeters of snow by next week.
That's all we have for you this week. Thanks so much for joining us on this Women's Day episode of Your Sheridan. We are your hosts. I'm Dragan Maričić.
And I'm Eliza Lada. We will see you next week, Sheridan.
Thanks for tuning in.
And next week will be another fantastic episode, but we can't tell you what it is, so you're going to need to tune in. That's right, but we will make sure to see you right here next week.
Yeah, you're going to have to figure it out.
Bye.
Anyways, bye, guys.